Hello friends, today I'm talking about narcissists' famous way of having circular conversations. These are conversations that spin and spin and spin. By the end of the conversation, one of two things will happen. Either you are apologizing and are confused as to why, or you're so exasperated by the spinning, right? It's almost like you're emotionally dizzy that you end the conversation, the disagreement, and nothing gets resolved. You just decide, like, I'm not getting anywhere, let's just forget it. If every single conversation ends like that, that's a problem. So with that in mind, let's get started. For those that don't know me, my name is Michelle. I'm a life and relationship coach. I specialize in narcissistic abuse recovery and complex PTSD recovery. I'm also the founder of the Thriver School of Transformation, which is a monthly membership where we meet live weekly. We have Zoom meetings, we have breathwork sessions, we even have EFT sessions. If you want to try us out for a free week, there's the link for that. Okay, so let's talk about arguments or circular arguments and what narcissists want from them and what you want from the disagreement or argument that you're having with the narcissist. Especially when it comes to narcissistic relationships, we need to know what we want out of the argument as well. So I was thinking about this and I was thinking, well, whenever we're having any disagreement or argument with anybody, right? And everyone has those. There's no perfect relationship out there, okay? So having a disagreement isn't bad. It's how you have the disagreement that can move it from normal into toxic, okay? So let's say you have a disagreement with somebody. What are you hoping to get out of it? In my case, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, if you do, let me know in the comment section below. And if I leave something out, let me know that too. But when I was thinking, like, what do I hope to get out of a disagreement? Well, the first thing that came to my mind was I want to be seen. Like, I want my perspective to be understood. I don't necessarily need the person to agree with me 100%, but just acknowledge that this is the way I'm seeing it. Okay, that's one thing that's important to me. The next thing is finding compromise, right? Looking for areas where both parties most likely will have to compromise. It should be 50-50, okay? And then the last thing is a feeling of resolution, where you feel like you've talked about it, you've discussed the compromise or what each party wants and needs, and there's some kind of closure and resolution to it. I don't know. That's what I want out of any disagreement that I have. Here's the problem. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist and those are your goals in a disagreement, you're going to get sucked into that circular conversation. Why? Well, narcissists don't like to see you at peace because seeing you at peace forces them to see their lack of peace. So for that reason, we have to really realize that narcissists aren't expecting the same things in arguments that you're expecting. This is what a narcissist hopes to get. The first is the power to invalidate, to delete somebody's reality. That's a tremendous amount of power. But the narcissist wants to feel like they can delete your reality and cause you to be confused and to doubt yourself. Right? And that makes you dependent on them to dictate reality. So they want you to feel that. They want you to feel as if you're not allowed to have your reality unless they validate it, which means they're not going to validate it, so you keep chasing it. Right? The second thing when it comes to compromise, they want to see that they have the power to get you to give up things that mean a lot to you. In fact, the more you give up, the more power they feel. They have no desire to compromise anything on their end. And something that they're really hoping for in the argument is for you to feel emotions like frustration, exasperation, sadness, anger, resentment, confusion, self-doubt. So if you're feeling all those things, normally when we're feeling those things, we try harder to get through to our partner so that we can resolve. But guess what? The narcissist wants you to feel those things. So in other words, circular conversations are things they enjoy. Negative emotions from you are things they enjoy. Negative emotions from you are things they feed off of. And not reaching conclusions and providing peace is something that they're okay with. The reason I'm putting this information out there is so that once you realize that that's what they want, like they're not going to change. I wish I could, but they're not going to change. That is who they want to be. It's not your job to get them to change, nor do you have the power to do that, even if they try to make you think that you can. That means the only way to stop circular arguments that drive you crazy, that leave you feeling emotionally chewed up and spit out like an old piece of gum, is if you end the circular conversations. And the way you do this is to stay focused. Okay, so circular disagreements usually take place because you're pointing something out that they don't want to self-reflect. They don't want to admit that they've done anything wrong. Let's say you point out that they were rude to you in public at a gathering, at a party, at a family event, whatever it was, that you felt humiliated by something they did in public. They're going to spin it. Well, you did something 3.5 years ago on a Tuesday of the month of September, blah, blah, blah. They're going to want you to now hear their perspective. They're counting on you to do what healthy relationships normally do. In a healthy relationship, you would pause and hear that person's perspective because you would know that both perspectives are going to be heard. Well, now you know, hopefully now you know that your perspective is not going to be heard. So rather than following them, whatever topic they spin you on, you stay focused. And if they say, well, one Tuesday, 5.5 years ago, you did this. Now, especially if it doesn't make sense, we're tempted to want to defend ourselves. We're tempted to be like, this has nothing to do with that. But that doesn't help. The problem is they don't care about evidence. They don't want truth. They want to spin you. They want the drama. They want the emotions. So rather than doing that, you stay focused and you're like, okay, thanks for sharing that with me. Again, I just want to say I don't appreciate when this happens. I find it very unkind and rude. That's it. Now, again, this is a little bit different than how we handle it in healthy relationships. In healthy relationships, we wouldn't say you. We wouldn't point the mirror at the other person. We would say, I feel this when you do that. This is what it makes me feel like. But now we know that narcissists don't see us. They don't see you. You can be, I feel, and then they're just spinning it and you never get anywhere and you never feel like they see you because they don't. So in the case with the narcissist, it is healthy to just put the mirror up and say, look, this is what I see. I'm sorry, I don't appreciate this behavior, this action. That's it. They're going to try to spin it all over the place, and you just stay repeating that one thing or ending the conversation. You can say something like, I don't want to discuss this further. We're not getting anywhere, but I just wanted you to know I don't appreciate that. And that's it. That's the way out of circular conversations. If you are hoping and waiting for them to change so that you have a regular, normal discussion or argument, it's not going to happen. Use the past to gauge the probability of what you hope for. But just because they won't change doesn't mean that you have to continue to pour out your energy and feel exasperated by joining and getting sucked into those kinds of conversations. You can stay separate.